You are about to find out something that will change how you see your closest relatives forever. Not your parents, not your grandparents, your cousins. The ones who walked this earth for 400,000 years before vanishing without a trace. This is the story of what happened in a cave in Belgium 45,000 years ago. And it is far darker than anything you learned in school. For most of human history, you are not alone. Other humans shared this planet with you. They built shelters, they buried their dead, they had families, languages, and fires. One species in particular had dominated Europe for almost 500,000 years. Stronger than you, better adapted to the cold than you, already there when your ancestors were still in Africa. They were the Neanderthals. And then, in what amounts to a single breath on the timescale of evolution, they disappeared. Scientists have argued about why for over a century. Disease, climate, interbreeding, competition. None of those explanations ever felt complete. Then in 2025, a team of researchers from CNRS in the University of Bordeaux and Aix-Marseille University published something that stopped the field cold. They had spent 10 years re-examining 101 bone fragments pulled from a single chamber in the Goyet Cave complex in Belgium. The bones had been sitting in museum boxes for decades, largely ignored. What the team found when they looked closely was something no one had expected. The bones told a story of a raid. Using DNA sequencing, radiocarbon dating, and isotopic analysis, lead researcher Quentin Cosnefroy and his colleagues reconstructed the biological profiles of the victims for the first time in history. 6 individuals at minimum, mostly adult women, 2 children, a newborn infant. They were not from the local group. The isotopic data confirmed it. These individuals had been brought from somewhere else, and the cut marks on their bones matched exactly the marks left on the hunted animals at the same site. This was not ritual. It was not desperation. The lower limbs had been deliberately selected for their nutritional value. The bones had been systematically cracked open to extract the marrow. These Neanderthals had been treated in every measurable way like prey. Here is the detail that changes everything. The timing places these events between 41,000 and 45,000 years ago. That is precisely the window when Homo sapiens, your direct ancestors, were pushing northward into Europe for the first time. Fossils at Ranis in Germany confirm modern humans had already reached northern Europe by 45,000 years ago. Neanderthals and Homo sapiens were sharing the same continent. Resources were shrinking, climate fluctuations were destabilizing food supplies, and a new species, better connected, better networked, armed with projectile weapons the Neanderthals did not have, was spreading into Neanderthal territory. The evidence at Goyet suggests that Neanderthal groups under pressure began targeting each other. The victims chosen were small, gracile females and children from outside the local clan, the most vulnerable members of competing groups. It was intergroup violence, a territorial war being fought in the final years of an entire species. Within a few thousand years of that cave in Belgium, Neanderthals were gone. You carry about 2% of their DNA inside you. Your ancestors met them, they lived alongside them, they interbred with them. And somewhere in that violent, desperate final chapter, the line between survival and extinction was crossed. The next time you feel the urge to protect your group, to treat an outsider as a threat, to take more than you need because something feels scarce, know that this is not a flaw in your design. It is the oldest thing inside you,